Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I am coming to you today with a very special video. This will be the official recap and review of Black Panther, the Marvel Studios movie that came out on February 16, 2018. You know that I have been waiting on this movie ever since we were introduced to Black Panther. And yeah, I'm excited. I am excited to bring this review and recap to you. Let me let you guys all know right now that there will be spoilers included in this movie. Not this movie, in this review. If you did not hear me the first time, this is a recap and review. Okay, meaning I will be recapping the movie as succinctly and clearly as I can, and I will also give my review, my feelings, my thoughts on said movie. So I'm going to give you guys this moment right now to click out if you have not seen the movie, if you are not interested in finding out spoilers. If you're anything like me, then you know that I hate spoilers. However, I feel like I have given everybody ample enough time to go and see the movie because it was such a widespread release and everybody was so excited. Like I said, if you haven't seen it now, then this is the time to click off right now. Click off right now. All right, the rest of y'all still here? Okay, now we can talk shop. All right, you guys, so the Black Panther, the movie. This is the first of what we hope will be a series of Black Panther movies in the Marvel Studios comic book to movie world. The movie came out, like I said, on February 16, 2018. Widespread release, smack dab in the middle of Black History Month. Very genius of Marvel Studios to put this movie out. We have been talking about this movie releasing in February of this year since last year when they announced that it was going to be coming out. So, like I said, we've been excited. The movie was directed by Ryan Coogler, who's a young African-American director. And for the most part, I would say that 98% of the cast was Black. Something you don't usually see in a movie that's considered mainstream and not necessarily a Black movie. First, I would call this a Marvel movie, and we have got to get out of placing our own selves in boxes by just claiming that a movie is a Black movie. If it's a good movie, then it's just a good movie, Black, white, or anything else. And I went to go see the movie in Atlantic Station here in Atlanta, and yes, even though most of the patrons were Black, there were quite a few white people and other races as well, just sitting and enjoying the movie too. And the movie definitely speaks to the comic book fan, the people that have followed Marvel Comics, the Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, and everybody else included in that mix. Okay, so we have the Black Panther. So the actors, Chadwick Boseman, he played T'Challa. Michael B. Jordan played N'Jadaka, okay, and he was also known as Eric Killmonger. Lupita Nyong'o played Nakia Denai Gurira. I don't feel like I'm saying her name right. She played Okoye. Daniel Kaluuya, he played W'Kabi. Letitia Wright played T'Challa's younger sister, Shuri. We had Winston Duke, who played M'Baku. Then we had Angela Bassett playing T'Challa's mother, okay, the Queen, Ramonda. And Forrest Whitaker played T'Challa's, play uncle, Zuri. Okay, so that was the main cast. There were other people in the movie, but these were the people that were the main focus of the cast. Now, we were first introduced to Black Panther in Captain America Civil War. Okay, if you guys will remember, T'Chaka, the king at the time, was in the United States. He was going to be speaking at like a peace treaty summit, and it was attacked by terrorists. T'Chaka was caught up in some shit that was going on with the Avengers there, and he was killed in the terrorist attack. T'Challa, who was the son of T'Chaka, was now going to become the king, and he had to return to Wakanda to take his place on the throne. Now, in the beginning of this movie, we are flashed back to 1992 in Oakland, and there we see Njobu, okay, and he is working as a like an operative for Wakanda down in the United States, was sent there by T'Chaka to kind of keep an eye on what's going on there. N'Jobu also had a kind of like a sidekick that was there. Turns out that sidekick was also a spy to kind of keep an eye on N'Jobu for King T'Chaka. King T'Chaka. Gotta get these words together, you guys. So once King T'Chaka came down there, he realized that his brother had turned traitor and had joined forces with Clow, who had stolen some vibranium from Wakanda. And, you know, King T'Chaka realized that his brother had joined forces with the enemy, and he ordered N'Jobu to come back to Wakanda. Well, there was some confrontation, and N'Jobu was killed by King T'Chaka. During this scene, we also see there's some little boys playing outside playing basketball, and actually one of them looks up in the sky and realizes that there's like some sort of like, you know, spaceship or something that's flying off. Okay, so that was the flashback. Anyway, in present day, T'Challa has returned to Wakanda. He is going to be king of Wakanda. We see the various customs and rituals that they go through as they are going to crown him king, including challenges from any other tribal families that may want to you know, go against and see if he really is able to become that king. So he was challenged by M'Baku and his tribe. But in the end, T'Challa wins. M'Baku, he surrenders, and T'Challa is the king. They find out that back in the United States, there has been some sort of robbery of some African artifacts in a museum, and those African artifacts are going to be sold in the black market in South Korea. And they suspect that Clow is behind this robbery. Clow had stolen the vibranium from Wakanda, and vibranium turns out to be the most precious, most expensive, most valuable mineral on this earth, and it all lays thousands and 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 thousands of tons of it in Wakanda underneath their soil. Wakanda has been able to keep this vibranium away from the rest of the world, and also cloak the advances that this vibranium has brought unto their country, you know, advances in technology, and just in their everyday life that nobody else has access to. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, they are looked at as a third world country, and that's the way they would like to keep it. At least that's the way that T'Chaka would have liked to have kept it. So now that Clow and his team has stolen these artifacts, they want to intercept Clow. Mostly because he has stolen the vibranium, but also because W'Kabi has a personal vendetta against Clow. He killed his father, I believe it was. So he wants Clow dead. So T'Challa and his security team, mainly, I gotta get these names, there's so many, Okoye and Nakia, they take a trip to South Korea so that they can intercept this sale. Also try to get a hold of Clow. Okay, well, it kind of gets foiled when they get there. They realize that they're not the only ones there trying to get to Clow. There's also a CIA operative there, and they get made. All right, so it turns out into this big fight, this big shootout, and chase. This is when T'Challa has to become the Black Panther. He is running and chasing after Clow. After going through the city, they finally catch Clow. Okay, at least the CIA has Clow. The Black Panther, T'Challa, Okoye, and Nakia, they don't really have him, even though they have him. So they've got to play the role. They go with the CIA operative, and he has Clow, you know, in the room. And Cloud tells the CIA operative, listen, you looking at the Wakandans, is it Wakandans, as if they are just this third world country, but that's not it. Okay, they've got vibranium over there, and I mean, you know, and the guy was like, well, you stole all of it, didn't you? He's like, I stole like the equivalent of a little teeny leeny little bit They have thousands and thousands of tons over there. Y'all been sleeping on it. You don't know. So now he done puts the CIA operative up on game. What is going on over there in Wakanda? Okay, well, while they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with Cloud, of course, Okoye just wants to kill everybody, do whatever she got to do, take them on back. T'Challa knows that they can't quite be as rebellious as Okoye would like for them to. But while they're trying to figure it out, Eric, okay, also known as Killmonger, he breaks Cloud out. He's part of his team, right? When T'Challa is trying to catch Eric, Killmonger, he sees that he has a necklace on and it has a ring on that's very similar, almost identical to the ring that T'Challa wears, and he knows that he got that ring from his father when he became the king. When it was passed on down from the father when he became the king of Wakanda. Okay, so he did remember that. However, Cloud is gone. Killmonger's gone. Okay, all they got is a CIA operative who has been shot in this mixture. T'Challa, because he cares about people, cannot just leave him behind. So now they take him back to Wakanda. Okoye and Nakia, like what are we going to do with him? His sister Shuri, because she is, very smart. She's a scientist. She's developed a lot for her country, working with vibranium down in the vibranium shaft or whatever it's called. She knows that she can heal the CIA operative. So that's what they're going to do right now. Keep him, sedated and get him healed. In the meantime, they have no Cloud. When they get back, Wakabi is very upset. Like, I thought it was going to be different with you, T'Challa, but, it's obviously just talk the same way it was with your father. So now Wakabi is upset, disappointed that T'Challa did not handle the business that he said he was going to. Back in the United States, we see Killmonger. Now that he's got Cloud, he kills him because Cloud is going to be used as collateral. He knows that back in Wakanda, Wakabi would like to get his hands on Cloud, and this is going to be his way of getting into Wakanda and doing what he wants to do. Okay, and that's what he does. He takes the body back to Wakanda. He gives the body to Wakabi. And he is seen before all of the elders of the certain tribes, including Ramonda. And this is when we find out that he is the son of slain Njobu from Oakland back in 1992. Remember, I told you that a little boy was left behind. Well, Eric Killmonger is the son, okay, in Jadaka, and he is real pissed. Okay, you left me behind. Okay, my father told me Wakanda had all these wonderful things going on, okay, including this vibranium that could make all of these weapons and could arm the forces of black people that are being disenfranchised and raped and killed and robbed and everything out in the world. I mean, this is something that we can use to help our people. So you can imagine Killmonger in Jadaka, he has quite a bit of disdain for his family who has left him behind. T'Challa, like many times, has adopted, now has to deal with the generational curse of something that a parent has done, or a grandparent or great grandparents that many of us know. He is now taking the heat for something that his father has done. Okay, the choice to leave the nephew behind, all in the name of trying to keep Wakanda undercover and not letting the rest of the world know about the vibranium and all of the advances that have been made. So, in Jadaka, he has decided that he wants to, in the tradition of the culture there, he wants to challenge T'Challa for the kingdom. And T'Challa accepts. Okay, very much to Ramonda's, she did not want this to happen, but this is what happens there. They have to follow the rituals and the customs and the rules of the land. So you can imagine, he is very heavy, and it's the challenge the same way that M'Baku had challenged T'Challa. This time it is in Jadaka and T'Challa loses. Not only does he lose, he gets thrown over the side of the waterfall, and we are presuming that T'Challa is dead. And now Killmonger in Jadaka, he is the king. And this definitely is bad news, okay? In a blink of an eye, the kingdom of Wakanda has been turned around, okay? Ramonda and Shuri are outcasts along with the CIA operative, because what else are they going to do with them? And they are trying to get Okoye to help them overthrow the government. Okoye cannot do that because she is loyal to that throne. She does not care who is sitting there. So now that Njadaka is there, you just got to deal with him right now. Okay, so they don't have the forces of Okoye and her security team. They take to the mountains of Wakanda. I guess they're trying to figure out some shelter. They are caught by M'Baku's tribe and taken there to him. That is where we find out that M'Baku actually had the Black Panther, had T'Challa, King T'Challa. Once he was thrown over the water, he washed ashore, and a fisherman brought T'Challa to M'Baku. And that M'Baku has been keeping him on ice. He is just on the edge of death. He lets them know that, you can't move him. Whatever you guys going to do to him, you got to do it to him here. All right. So again, we go through the rituals. They bring T'Challa back. He goes back. He talks to his father and realizes that, his ancestors had let down the country. However, T'Challa is ready to make a new change for the country. He's going to go back and he's going to fight for the country. He's going to put it right. Okay. But T'Challa is torn because he realizes that his father was wrong in leaving behind this little boy. Why didn't you just bring him with you? Okay. And like I said, sometimes it's the way of the old school and the new school. Old school don't want to change, and they are very much stuck in tradition. And you have a new school person who is really just trying to do what's right and make changes and, include everybody. So this is the little pull between what his father had and what he wants his country to now be. So, T'Challa comes back. He's strong, he's ready, and he wants to challenge Njadaka to get the throne back. Okay, so, Njadaka is not going to just give the throne back. So it is a big war, and Okoye and her security people fighting the people that have been ordered, the army that has been ordered to fight them. It is just civil unrest. Everybody's fighting. It's a mess, including Okoye, Nakia, and Shuri. Even have the CIA operative that is helping out back in the vibranium place. Why can't I think of the name of that? We also see T'Challa and Njadaka fighting. Both of them trying to be the victor. Njadaka has a suit that's very similar to the Black Panther's suit, but it's able to get disturbed in some kind of way at a point where the Black Panther is able to stab Njadaka. But the Black Panther, T'Challa, tells him, listen, we can heal you. So it's just really up to you. And Njadaka says, no, throw me in the ocean with my ancestors, because even they knew that death was better than being a prisoner. Okay, talking about the slaves. I thought that was like a great, fabulous line. Okay, something that I will always remember. Anyway, Njadaka is dead. T'Challa is now back the king of Wakanda. He and Nakia are back together as a couple because she was always kind of hinted as a love interest, throughout the movie. And all is back well and right in the country of Wakanda. Of course, you guys know it's a Marvel movie. There are always 2 bonus clips, and in those clips we find out that T'Challa has decided to open his nation to the rest of the world, that he is going to be bringing the talents and the smarts, the brains, the wits of the Wakandan nation over to the United States, specifically Oakland. He is going to be starting, a research center and different things, outreach programs that's going on in the United States and around the world, because it's time for Wakanda to be recognized as the force that they are and to join forces with the rest of the world. So I saw that and I was like, well, there definitely will be another Black Panther movie, because you guys know, at least I know, the U.S. government is going to do all that they can, okay, to get their hands on that vibranium, okay, even though T'Challa the world's best interest at heart. Never has our U.S. government had that same feeling. And so that was one of the bonus clips. And then in the second bonus clip, we saw that Bucky from Captain America. You guys remember he was the best friend of Captain America, who was brainwashed and was so fucked up in the head that they're trying to get him unbrainwashed and healed. Remember he had the mechanical arm or whatever that was ripped off. Okay, well, they evidently have sent Bucky to Wakanda, and Shuri is healing him and making him whole again. And you guys, Bucky, if y'all think Captain America is something, Bucky is a whole lot as well. So we're getting Bucky back right, and we're going to send him back. He's going to be on the next Avengers movie, I believe, with the rest of them. So those were the bonus clips. And that is the movie of Black Panther. Now, my feelings, you guys, well, if you don't already know, I love the movie. I thought it was excellent. I thought the writing was excellent. I thought it was very cleverly written. If you guys watch Marvel movies, you know that they can be very involved and very detailed and very deep. And there are sometimes that points where you can get lost. And I think in this movie in particular, they made it a point to, even though keep the story, organic to the comic book story, they also inserted a lot of levity, and there are different things in there that actually would bring the viewer that's not so invested in a Marvel comic story, would keep them interested in the story as well. The subject matter is very serious, obviously so. And I felt like the person who actually originally wrote Black Panther was able to write the story to connect with just the average black person, because we can relate. Okay, you can very easily substitute vibranium for all of the natural resources that are in Africa, gold and oil and diamonds and all of the minerals that are so precious to the rest of the world that people have raped and killed, pillaged that nation to get to, and turn Africa in many places into a third world country. This country should not have been a third world country. They become a third world country because everything has been stolen from them. So when you listen to this story of this movie, it's very easy to relate, because we as black people have heard this story for ever since we have been children. So just make a few changes in the names of the metals, and the story makes sense to us. Bam, you've got your comic book story. I also felt like they did a very good job of showing us the customs, the rituals, the traditions of the African culture. I'm from Los Angeles, and in America in general, you don't see many African customs. Okay, you see more probably now than you have in the past, but for the most part, you don't really see anything. There's no African type of celebrations. We have Black History Month, of course, but like I said, I'm from Los Angeles. I used to work downtown. I worked very close to Chinatown and to Alvera Street. And when it was Chinese New Year's, when it was Cinco de Mayo, when it was different celebrations in those specific cultures, we saw all kind of things going on. And it had happened so much that it became normal to me. Like, I was more familiar with the traditions and customs of the Mexican people and the Chinese people than I am of the African people. Okay, and that's actually kind of bad. So it was very inspiring to see a movie where you can see these traditions that we are just so not used to. Because it was almost, when I was watching it, it almost put you on the verge of being uncomfortable, because you just are not aware of these things. But it was fascinating as well at the same time, because these are things that I would like to see, that I would like to know about. What they do, what they wear, the beautiful clothes, the things to be proud of, knowing that we have a very proud culture over in Africa, and that black people are not just this second-rate citizens that we have been made to feel like sometimes here in the United States. So I really commend Marvel Comics for taking their time and being serious and committed to that fact and showing those traditions and rituals and customs. I mean, I'm sure that those tribes were all made up, but very much taken into consideration real tribes and the things that they do there, and then molded it into this comic book character and story. So just seeing all of those things, it did my heart good. Now, for fun, you guys, the yumminess of the characters. Okay, so Chadwick Boseman playing T'Challa. We love Chadwick. He's a good actor. He's a very good character actor. He has played so many different, I mean, extremely different characters from all ends of the spectrum, and he does well in every single one. So Chadwick has a very bright acting future ahead of him. Michael B. Jordan, okay, the sexiness is just, you know, we know it's there. And that factor is even upped some when we realize that he is playing a villain. However, he's not a true villain. He's a villain that has been forced there out of survival. And we always like somebody who, you know, who has the good in mind, but, you know, it just ain't really going about it the right way. Okay, some dark in him, and Michael B. Jordan did a really great job of playing that villain. Something that we don't normally see him as, and he said actually that he's always wanted to play a villain, and most actors say that because I think that challenges them mostly to try to get you to hate them as much as you can. So yeah, Michael B. Jordan, he is a cutie. We also had Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah, Kaluuya, Kaluuya. I think it's Kaluuya. You guys remember him from Get Out fame. When I was watching him in the movie, I really had to work hard to separate him from the movie of Get Out. It was very smart of him to take this role. I'm sure he didn't have to take it. I'm sure he wanted it. Okay, but it was smart of him to try to get out of that being pigeonholed into something like a Get Out, because that movie was so phenomenal, and something that he will always be remembered as. I mean, he's been nominated for an Oscar for that movie. But as he went on into the movie, then I started to, you know, be able to separate him and put him as the leader of the tribe that he was the leader of. But it's always so funny because he has these expressions. He's a very much quiet, calculated actor where he's just kind of looking like he's just taking everything in and kind of just like about to call you on your bullshit, which he did a lot of in Get Out. A lot of that also was in this movie as well. But yeah, Daniel did a great job as W'Kabi. And then we had M'Baku, y'all, who was played by Winston Duke. And child, when I tell you that M'Baku was something sexy. He's just a big old man, child. And you know, his tribe, they barked. So of course that puts you in the mindset of the Omegas, and you know, just these big strong black men. And yeah, he was definitely my breakout favorite, child. I loved looking at M'Baku. Okay, and he was actually funny as well, and turned out to be a stand-up person, as he was the one who was able to kind of turn that Civil War around and come in and help T'Challa and the rest of them when he had already said that he wouldn't. So those were pretty much the men. I mean, we can think of Forrest Whitaker not so much as a sexy person, but definitely a great actor in the way that he can, you know, Forrest Whitaker has never been a physical actor. Okay, he's never been the real fit and the sexy and all of that. Okay, Forrest Whitaker is more of the actor who just kind of just makes you be able to feel exactly what is going on in his heart, in his soul. He's good for that, and he's been, now that he's gotten older, that's kind of more the role that he has taken in the last few times that we've seen him. So I think he did a great job as that as well. Okay, so those were our men. I thought they did a great job. Oh, and M'Baku, who did he remind you guys of? I stared at him and stared at him and stared at him, and I was like, he looks like somebody. And then I figured it out, child. He looked like Teddy from Black Ink. A taller, more, you know, in shape, you know, but yeah, he was giving me Teddy T's the whole time. Now the women, awesome. is my best example. Y'all know I had that fist pump of righteousness just nestled in my lap the whole time I was watching the movie, but child, I just wanted to stand up and be like, yes, to my women's. The women were very much a force in this movie. They were the security team. They were the backbone of the king, okay, of the throne. Without them, I'm not sure if T'Challa would have been able to achieve what they were able to achieve. Okoye, leading her team, I mean, just fantastic. And it was just a great look to see Okoye played by Danai Gurira. Oh, you guys are gonna kill me not getting her name right. I know that she is she from The Walking Dead? And I did see an interview when she was saying that her being in that show and just the physicality of that character helped her in this one as well. We had Lupita Nyong'o playing Nakia, and she duplicated the strength of Okoye, a much younger one, more green one, but definitely very passionate about what she came to do. Shuri, who's played by Letitia Wright. Okay, I liked her character because she was a cute girl, she was a quirky girl, she was the smart girl, she was the scientist. She was the one that shows that black women are smart as well. We also can, create and make things, and our mind works in these ways where we can actually help save the world as well. Okay, and then even after I know all of that, I can still go fight if I have to, because Shuri, in the end, she had to become a warrior with the rest of her sisters and help her brother out. And lastly, Angela Bassett, okay, who just oozes regality probably at every moment in her life. I'm sure even when she's drinking a cup of coffee. That woman was perfect for whatever role Angela Bassett gets. She's always perfect for it, and this one was no different. So that was the main characters of the movie. And that is my review and recap of Black Panther. Alright, you guys, so that's it. My rating, I give it 2 thumbs up. I think that it is a movie that deserves to be seen and seen and seen again. I thought I was going to have a hard time listening and really following the story because it was going to be so much noise going on in the theater, but actually everybody was very much respectful and trying to understand what was going on and was so captivated by everything that I was able to kind of, follow the story very easily. Now, I know that I'm going to go see it again because I just want to see it again and maybe a third time. This is a movie that I can see over and over again. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. And this is your turn to tell me what you loved about the movie as well. Let me know about what you see, about any predictions. Were there any loopholes? Were there things that was missed? Did you still have questions about anything that was going on in the storyline? Whatever it is that you have to say about this movie, go on ahead and get into them comments and do it, okay? Because we are spoiler filled here. I gave everybody the warning. I mean, if you've gotten to this point, you definitely have already seen the movie. So yeah, leave your feelings about it below, and I'm gonna get off of here, you guys. I'm at Zaxby's. I'm about to get me something to eat, and I'm gonna take it on back to work. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to this channel. This channel is for itsrox. I'm itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.